This is a breaking news alert from 6 News.
Two people are dead after a shooting on the campus of Central Michigan University, and the student who police believe pulled the trigger is still on the loose. We sent two of our crews to Mount Pleasant as soon as we got word of shots being fired there. Those shots were fired at Campbell Hall. That's a freshman dorm building. And here's what we know right now. The 19-year-old who police are looking for is James Eric Davis. He's 5'10", around 135 pounds. Police say he is considered armed and dangerous. And right now, officials want people to stay where they are and stay off campus if they can. Police say David is believed to have shot and killed two people in the dorm around 9:30 this morning. University officials describe this as a domestic situation and tell us the two victims are not students. Police are still looking for Davis again. He's an African-American man who stands around 5'10". He was last seen wearing a blue hoodie and mustard yellow pants. Classes are canceled for today. Police have set up a perimeter and are even using helicopters to search for the suspect. And police are starting a press conference right now, so let's listen in live.
I want to let you know that we have multiple agencies who are active and involved in this, and we are processing that as we go forward. I'm going to turn it over to Detective or Lieutenant Klaus, and he will update you on the police status at this point and what we know.
And if you could give us your full names.
Thank you, Sherry. It's Lieutenant Larry Klaus with the Central Michigan University Police Department. Here to report that our agency is confirming that a tragic event took place on our campus here this morning. We are confirming that two individuals have been fatally injured, and the incident took place in Campbell Hall, which is part of our Towers complex. As Sherry Knight said, at this point, none of our students, faculty, or staff have been injured. They are sheltering in place at this current time, and at this point, our campus is safe. We believe this situation involves a domestic type incident. The person of interest that we are looking for actively at this point is a James Eric Davis. He's a black male, approximately 19 years of age, weighing about 135 pounds. A photograph will be released shortly of Mr. Davis, and we're asking that our community members call us. Call 911 if you see this individual, and he should be considered armed and dangerous if you encounter Mr. Davis. For those planning to come to campus to pick up their students for spring break, we would ask that you please stay off campus. Our campus is actively locked down and our students are sheltering in place. If you need a location to go to the Comfort Inn at 2424 South Mission Street, and there will be staff there to help support you and your families. At the current time, this is still an active event. Police agencies are actively trying to locate the individual. He was last seen shortly after the shooting, running in a northbound direction from our Towers complex. At that time, he was wearing a dark hoodie. It is unknown what clothing he may be wearing now, because we have located a number of articles of clothing along the railroad grade. We have tactical teams from the Mount Pleasant region, comprised of the Central Michigan University Police, Mount Pleasant Police, the Sheriff's Office, that are actively looking for this individual. We also have assets from the Michigan State Police that are assisting with officers, air support, and with tactical members. We have assets from the FBI and our other federal partners. I will now turn it over to Officer Jeff Brown from the City of Mount Pleasant.
My name is Jeff Brown, Public Information Officer with the Mount Pleasant Police Department, and we're asking for the community's help in this part. We believe the subject is in the city limits now, and so we need the community's help in locating him. And by that, with the picture that we're going to release, we're asking that you do not approach this individual. We're not asking you to go out and look for the individual. What we're asking is if you see this individual, we want you to contact 911 immediately and let our teams do what we do and apprehend that individual. The important thing is to know that our community is safe. We're going to ask that everybody stay inside at this time. And again, if you come across this individual, to call 911 immediately.
Questions?
Any questions that you may have?
You guys call this believe it to be a domestic issue. There's one report at least that this suspect was released from the hospital at 8 this morning. And then the shooting happened a short time later. Did this guy come back to try to finish something that started either last night or early this morning?
Here's what I can confirm at this point. It's a little early in our investigation. The Senior Police Department did have contact with the involved individual last evening. At some point in the evening, he was transported to McLaren Hospital due to what the
Oh, that's
officers
right
believe
2 miles
may be
from
a
my house.
drug-related type incident, an overdose or a bad reaction to drugs. At that point, he was released to the hospital staff. We're calling it a family-type domestic issue at this point, and that's all we're releasing at this
That
time.
hospital is in my neighborhood just about.
I cannot confirm the deceased at this point. What I can confirm, that it did not involve faculty, staff, or our students.
I heard on Facebook that he killed his parents when they picked him up for spring break.
We
So
have a gun-free policy on
I
our
don't know.
campus, and weapons are not permitted.
I'll let you
on
guys
city
know
campus.
as soon as I find out anything.
We cannot
it's
disclose it
domestic.
At this point, it's early in the investigation.
Sounds
Not
like
that
he
I'm aware
was
of
really,
at this point.
like he's really
I have
messed
no
up.
idea how many weapons are involved. At this point,
Mentally
what I can
ill,
tell you is that if
drug
you do encounter
abuser.
Mr. Davis,
It's
that
too
you should
bad.
consider him to be armed and dangerous.
You guys be safe out there. Know your
We got
surroundings.
calls from Campbell Hall of shots fired, and university officers and City of Mount Pleasant officers responded to that location.
Can you tell us more about Davis, how long he's been a student here?
I can't provide any further information regarding the student at this time.
Too early.
In Campbell Hall.
The victims were found in the residence hall, correct?
Did he live in that residence hall?
I can't disclose that at this point because I'd have to get confirmation on that prior.
You call him a suspect and person of interest. Which one is it? Is it suspect? Do you call him suspect?
It would be suspect.
Your officers came into contact with him last evening. Have there been any other previous incidents before last night?
The investigation's early, but not that I'm aware of.
Is there a reason why you haven't been able to release the relationship with the suspect and victims?
Well, one, it's early in our investigation. We've got the Michigan State Crime Lab here processing that scene, and we have to do notification of next of kin before we can release any names that are involved in this matter.
You said the campus is a gun-free zone, so how do you enforce that? Are there metal detectors on campus?
There's not metal detectors. Most of our buildings have access control, where you have to have an identification to get into our buildings. The towers have access control. We do not have metal detectors, but it is our policy that the students, staff, faculty cannot have weapons on our campus.
Do we know at all how the suspect obtained a weapon at this time? Or?
I have no information on that. at
What
this
type
time.
of weapon was used and was the
It's
reason
too
for
soon in the
last night?
investigation.
You had contact with him that this was a potentially violent suspect.
I cannot disclose what type of weapon was used at this point.
I heard
have,
it was a
No
pistol.
information that would lead us to believe that this would have taken place here today.
This shooting happened on the 4th floor, so how was he able to escape? Did he fly down the stairs? I mean, any
Oh
information
my
on how he got
God, they
away?
asked some stupid questions.
I can't confirm the floor, but the last thing I can confirm, we had cameras that saw him exiting the north side of the Towers complex and running on the railroad grade.
And we were hearing from some people on campus too saying that they believe that the suspect was seen downtown Mount Pleasant. Do you know if that's true at this point?
I'll turn that over to Officer Brown from the City of Mount Pleasant.
We've had a number of tips of where this individual might be. So far, we have not located him. However, we're following up on every tip that comes through. We've been checking individuals to check their identity as they come in.
Is there any previous background about this guy, any criminal background whatsoever?
Not that we're aware of at this point. And like I said, it's early in the
It's early in the investigation,
Later
y'all.
I'm sure we'll have more information.
Well,
that
they
we can
ask
share
stupid
with you
questions.
and
It's too
update
soon
you
right
on
now.
The investigation.
Right now, they're just trying to keep their